Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. What I have here for you today is the SJCAM SJ6 Legend Action Cam. This is another GoPro alternative. There are many out there. You can see it looks very similar. It is a 4K dual screen action camera with Wi-Fi, gyro stabilization, and the ability, and this is the one reason why I really wanted to review this, the ability to add an external microphone, and it has a lot more. So much product, so many features, so little time. Here's the box that it came in. Let you go ahead and take a close look. You can see that you could download an application so you could operate this remotely, and we'll go ahead and try that out. They show that it's 4K at 24 frames a second. This is interpolated, not native. It is a native 2K camera. Just want to keep things honest here. You do have gyro stabilization underwater using this case right here, just like the other GoPro cameras, and it can go as deep as 30 meters, which is about 98 feet. And here are the specs. I'll let you take a close look in case you want to freeze frame. It would be nice if I went ahead and showed you the English. We'll go ahead and open this up. So besides the camera and the underwater housing, you get a frame which I used in my car when I was driving around. Wanted to see how it looked as far as in motion and different types of lighting, day, night, dusk, etc. So some of the things already outside the box. You get another rear door for the housing that enables the touch screen to work through it. However, that does reduce the depth of water to 10 feet. If you have this particular back on, you get some extra stickers to help things stay attached. You got a handlebar type of mount, and these are standard GoPro type of mounts. I don't know if you could actually say that, but I did. So many different types of mounts, and it does fit GoPro stuff. I've tried it on several of my different pieces of equipment and it worked fine. You even get a little cleaner there, and finally I'm getting close to the bottom here. You have some stickers so you can look really cool, and a manual which I never looked at. The fine folks at SJCAM did send me the sample for review, full disclosure. However, they did not pay me any money or anything else to give you my honest opinion here. I'm giving you the good and the bad. I've already given you one good, one bad, and that is it is not native 4K. If you want to get native 4K, you got to get the SJ7, and that costs $200. This, however, is $159. I went ahead and provided a link in the description box below. I also am going to include in this review, and why I wanted to review this anyway, this mic. I love the ability to be able to attach a microphone. I'm going to test it out. So let's say you want to use this as an improv type of vlogging camera, and you know how mics usually kind of suck with these kind of things. You could add an external lapel microphone and that should make it sound good, so we could maybe test it out as a vlog kind of thing. Another negative is that you cannot use that microphone while it's in the housing. Obviously, if it had a hole for the microphone, then you would compromise the watertight integrity. Now, this is available in 3 colors, black, rose, and silver. Standout features besides the 4K is it could take 16 megapixel snapshots, gyro stabilized. You could get a remote control watch thing, or you could use your cell phone. We'll try that out here in a moment. So we'll press and hold it until you hear it make the noise. There we go. So here we go. So you can see it is a dual screen. So you got a black and white LCD on the front, and you have a nice 2-inch color on the back. Very clear, very crisp. You could do all kinds of things like bring up what you want to do, video, time-lapse, slow motion recording, which I did here. I'll show you. Drop the little washer. You got your still, again 16 megapixel still, max. You got time-lapse, burst mode, video, plus it does car mode, it does underwater. In car mode it can do looping, so it doesn't fill up your card. I do and have purchased a little micro SD card that goes in there. 64 megapixels what I put in there. No, I'm sorry, 64 gig card I stuck in there. It works fine. Has a mini USB plug to charge, and the transfer has a little HDMI out. Whoops, I hit a button there. Has a microphone, a speaker, and you can start things up using here. You got a battery. You can see I'm in video mode right now, so like if I wanted to take a picture to still, you can see how it went to still, and I could do a little snapshot. Nice and easy. Go back to video. Very simple. Now you could also go and do the settings. Let me try to hit this here. My finger doesn't want to get, there we go. So you could change the resolution. If I go through every one of these, it's going to get very long, but you sort of get the idea. It does have field of view, so you could sort of change whether you want wide, middle, narrow, which would be more telephoto, so you can sort of change things up there. It has Gyro Stabilization, which I have on. You could turn on and off audio. You could have your timestamp on and off. You could format your SD card, change your bit rate, have it do 2 files. You could have power on record. Why do you want to do this? Well, if you have it in your car and you just, when you power up your car, you want it to automatically start recording. If you're using it as a DVR or car cam or whatever you want to call it, you can. You can change sharpness, white, balance, color, exposure value, different types of metering, distortion correction. Built in, you don't have to do this with editing software. You know how wide angle lenses, like this is a 166 field of view, things start sort of bending a little bit? Well, you could have it compensate and straighten it up internally so you don't have to do it in editing software later. Pretty neat feature. We could go down here into the settings. You could obviously change all kinds of different things. It does have an FPV mode if you're going to stick this on a quadcopter. All kinds of neat things. You could rotate it. Important, so if you have this mounted and hanging upside down, you can. You could put your logo. I did update this to the latest version. There's the firmware. It does it through the Google app or the iPhone app, whatever you use. If it sees that it needs the firmware, it will offer to download that. Now, I want to look at one other thing. Video file format. So you could choose whether, whoops, you can choose whether you want MP4 or MOV. So you get to choose, you know, a desired format. And in pictures, you could do either JPEG or RAW, which is pretty cool. So it has a lot of features. How does it do that? Well, it has some pretty impressive tech. This has a 16 megapixel Panasonic sensor, and it has a Novatek NTK 96660 chipset, and again 166 degree wide angle lens. It that video format, the MOV or the MP4, it's doing it in H.264 encoding, and it comes with a 1000 milliamp hour rechargeable battery that goes into that door right there. Look at this tripod, so you don't even have to put that frame around here or put it in here to mount. You can actually use a good old standard tripod mount. One other thing, I didn't show you this button here. You could get into your settings just by pressing that button. So instead of trying to hit this guy, which is sometimes a little tricky because it's right on the edge, and you know everything else works great, the touchscreen, but this little edge here on the bottom, I don't see how you can bring up the settings, but it might take 1 or 2 hits. Save yourself the trouble. They even give you a button right there. You could just hit it and it goes into the settings. Saves you a lot of headache. If you want to activate the Wi-Fi, press and hold the settings button and you get the symbol. Now you got Wi-Fi going on, and that's what you're going to look for in your Wi-Fi on your phone, and there's the password. So you're going to go ahead and set that up however you set up your cell phone to do Wi-Fi. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera really quick. Let this come up. I'll let you see it actually showing up right there, SG Legend. So you just sort of select that and it's going to prompt you for a password. Since I had already set it up, it should not be a problem. And you can see it went ahead and connected. Once it connected, you go ahead and grab that software that you can get in the instruction book. It tells you how to get it. I'm just going to go ahead and start it. It is the SJCAM app. And my phone's giving me a warning that I am using my data because you're hooking up to Wi-Fi on this. I'll go ahead and start the camera up to connect to it. And there we are. And you can see, there you are. There I am. Hello. And it enables you to easily operate all the settings. You can see when you rotate in this direction, it gives you more of a full screen of what's going on. You even get the battery level, which is kind of neat. And I could go turn the camera actually on and off. I could select what different modes, whether it's time-lapse video, etc., so forth. I can go ahead and get into my settings. My settings right here. And all the settings that you could go through the menu here, you could also do right here on your cell phone. It's kind of cool. Makes things a lot easier. So if I wanted to start recording, I would just, let's say I want to start a video. Well, I have the video option selected. I would just hit the button, and you heard it click or make the beeping noise. Now I'm actually videotaping. And it's telling you the time right there. The amount of time for videotaping, and when I want it to stop, it'll stop. So now what I'm going to do is I want to demonstrate the microphone, and I want to show you how it sounds with and without the microphone. So here we are with the camera just using the internal microphone, and when I get far away, just like I am now, you can sort of hear what it sounds like, and you could also see the distortion. Now remember I told you that this thing can do distortion correction? Well, let's go ahead and see how that works. So there I go, I turned on distortion correction so you can sort of see how that is. Okay, so now I have the mic on. Test 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Not sure how that sounds. I'll find out when I start editing. But we'll see the difference, how it sounds. Now, one thing I failed to point out is because you have that 1000 milliamp hour battery inside there, which can come out and you can replace them and buy extra, it takes 3 hours to charge it, and it will last 70 minutes if you utilize this camera with the Wi-Fi on. Now, if you utilize it with the Wi-Fi off and you just do all the controls right there on the camera, it will run for 110 minutes. That's pretty good battery life. One other thing that I'd like to point out is the SD card. I told you that I put a 64 gigabit card in there. It can support up to 128 gigabit card, so that's pretty impressive. It's very difficult to cover the feature set of this camera in a relatively short YouTube video. It is a plethora of features that you're getting for $159 with the unique ability to add an external microphone. What I like about it is I could do a vlog of some sort in a nice wide angle camera with a lapel microphone. Very small compact package. And again, I showed you all the accessories that come with this, so you're not getting just the camera. If you get the GoPro, which is the standard, you have to still go out and buy all the extra parts. Now, you do get what you pay for. So this, of course, is not going to hold a candle to the high-end latest GoPro, but not all of us have all that money. So if what you saw here looks good to you at the price you're looking for, look no further. The link is in the description box below, and so is the link for the microphone. So that's, again, $159 for the camera and $18 for the microphone. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I apologize if it did end up a little too long. I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit more of the video in the car so you can get one more last look as I'm driving along. Just driving back and forth to work over the Thomas Johnson Bridge. So to demonstrate how this looks in the dark, so we're coming up on the Thomas Johnson Bridge. early in the morning before sunrise. And sort of hand holding it. So it's not even suction cupped to the window. You can see I have my HUD up there, which I'm testing out. I don't have the film on the windshield, so it is sort of double vision right now. So go ahead and disregard that. That's not the camera. But not too bad. Actually, you know, I can look at the back of the screen on this camera and actually see better than I'm seeing with my own eyes as far as what's ahead. It's pretty amazing. Very good low light. And you can see that the oncoming traffic doesn't really wash it out entirely, which some cameras, especially cheap ones, can. Looks pretty good, even driving in the sun. Very readable. Pretty cool. Go ahead and back you up over here where my head is. Just driving to work, having a bud. No, not having a bud. Okay, that's enough. Thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day or evening. Take care. Bye.